When you're looking at diets and when you're looking at losing weight in general, there are three things that you need to keep in mind. And this is the reason why most people fail. What's going on, Fit Babes? It's your girl, Coach Chris. Thanks for stopping by the Body by Chris YouTube channel, where we are all about empowering fitness newbies to walk into the gym with more confidence and step into the weight room for the very first time. I'm so happy that you're here. Today is a good one because we are approaching the end of 2020. And you know what that means? New Year's resolution time. Have any of you thought about what your goals are? Like what you want to do for 2021? Chances are you're here because one of the goals you're probably going to have for yourself is to lose weight. Yes, like every single year, weight loss is at the top of the New Year's resolution list. I want to go over Weight Watchers. And I'm gonna go over it from a standpoint of someone who had my own fitness journey as well, not just a personal trainer, but I went through the journey. I actually did Weight Watchers a while back. And I'm gonna tell you what I've learned now that I'm a little bit more educated in my industry versus what I knew then, and whether or not this is something that's gonna work for you at the point in life that you're at. Okay, first, what I wanna do is go over what is the whole Weight Watchers thing, because back in the day when I did it, it was just a simple point system. Now they've got all these colors and plans, and I will be honest with you, your girl got confused. I had to end up Googling because I was extremely confused on what the heck all of their colors meant. I don't know if that's something you want for someone who's completely new and has no idea. Like, do you want them to be completely confused? I think it just makes things just overly complicated for no reason. But I don't know, that's just me. Three things that they do. First, they take their own personal assessment for a holistic view of what impacts weight loss for you, from food to sleep to how you think. I'm guessing that's some kind of quiz or, personalized test or something. Then they're going to scientifically match you up with a food plan. The food plan colors are green, blue, and purple. It's gonna guide you towards food choices geared for your preferences. I'm guessing like what you like to eat, maybe like if you've got a sweet tooth or something. I'm not really sure what that means. And then you get an app that's gonna be personalized with trackers, fit points, tips and tricks, recipes, and different tools to make losing weight easy for you. Their entire marketing is all about making it easy for you and personalized. Sounds like those are the two things that they really focus on. Now, back when I did Weight Watchers, it was a simple point system. I believe the minimum is 23 points, and that may still be true today. And then you have 23 points, you can use them for whatever you want in that day. It doesn't matter what you're eating, but you can't go over 23 points. All vegetables, and I believe fruit too, are 0 points, if that's still the case with fruit. But you can eat as much of that as you want for 0 points. That was nice because you could eat a lot of those in your meal and you don't have to think about them too much. I don't really understand because I did have to Google it, but the colors, all they do is have a different balance, a different ratio of 0 point foods to smart foods. That's what they call them. So something like, I think purple has a lot of 0 and just a small bit of smart foods. Sounds like you're eating a very low calorie meal plan at that point. So I don't know what that looks like, but there was a calculator that I found online that converted calories to points for Weight Watchers. My mind is blown. It showed, and tell me if this is right in the comments below, because I would really like to get a very crystal clear idea of this. But Weight Watchers says you should be at a minimum of 23 points. The calories of 1,200, that equaled 32 points. So what is 23 points? Is that like air? I don't know about this. That was the first thing that caught me off guard, was thinking about how does this transfer over to calories? And I was a little bit stunned. So comment down below if this is not the case. But this is just first impression of what I got and what I understood from it. Now, if you look at their website and they talk about the Smart Points, this is similar to what they had in the past when I did it. You got a weekly allowance. That's just what they called it back then. Now it's called your weekly Smart Points. So you've got a few points that you can have. If you didn't eat them throughout the day, you can move them over to your bank, and then you can use them like on a weekend when you go out to dinner or something like that. So you eat a little bit less throughout the week, and you trickle all of those in, and then have like a big meal at a restaurant on like a Saturday. I would recommend this to most people too, which isn't a big deal. The only problem is you will be very, very hungry throughout the week. So if you're someone who mentally and emotionally, you feel like restricting yourself causes you to downward spiral and binge, this may not be the right path for you to take, because you would like to have a little more consistency throughout the week and feel full every single day. I've realized that they're basically taking the approach of macro counting, but taking out the actual knowledge of what that is and dressing it up as this cute little point system. It's kind of what they're doing. They are looking at saturated fats, protein, and sugar. They're just calling it a little bit different, honestly, because sugar is carbs. Saturated fat, I'm not sure if they're looking at unsaturated fat. I guess not, because like, you look at avocados and those have fat in them, but they're not saturated fats. So they're just taking a little bit different approach, but they're kind of still following a macro counting process on the back end, in the system. So if you've heard someone talk about macros and flexible dieting, it's kind of the same idea. The only issue is that for people who've never heard of macro counting and who don't really understand it, doing this may be easier for you if you don't want to ever learn, right? If you just want to be someone who memorizes points and can do points, that's your route. But if you're someone who wants to eventually get off the app and you're just going to revert back to eating the same way you were, because most of the time you don't really understand what points are. Unless you have them memorized, you can't just go into like a new food that you've never tried before and be like, oh, I'm gonna estimate these points, because you don't understand how to calculate your own grams for protein, carbs, and fats. Okay, and that's something I like to teach, because I'm the type of person that likes to know what the heck I'm doing, right? I'm not just doing something because someone told me that this was the best way to do it. I want to know what's going on. Why am I doing it this way? When you're looking at diets and when you're looking at losing weight in general, there are 3 things that you need to keep in mind. And this is the reason why most people fail. 1, it has to be something that will last a long time. Like, it's long-term success. It's sustainable. It's something that you are able to handle when situations like come up, right? You're able to bounce back really quickly when life throws you a curveball, because it's easy to do and you can do it from anywhere. Okay, so sustainability is the number 1 thing. Number 2, it needs to be enjoyable. If you don't enjoy what you're eating and you constantly feel like you're depriving yourself of the good things that you want to eat, or you're constantly hungry, it's not going to work, because you're not enjoying what you're eating. And they tend to like promote like you can eat whatever you want kind of thing. You can use your points for anything that you want to use them for, and that's similar to macros. So I'll give them that. That's a good thing. But sometimes I did realize that when I had only 23 points, I was struggling, because I would be really, really hungry, and I would know that the most like filling thing I could eat on my points would be a salad. The only issue I have with eating a lot of vegetables all the time is we all know we should be eating it, but it's not something that we all enjoy. And if it's something you don't enjoy, you're not going to do as much of it. And a lot of people think that the key to getting healthy is eating broccoli and chicken every day, or just eating salads for lunch every day. And then most of the time they don't stick with it. So I like to teach people very convenient, easy foods that aren't salads, that are going to fill you up. Because I understand, like, I wouldn't want to eat salads every single day of my life either, especially if you're new and you don't eat vegetables that often. And then you try to switch to it, it's just making a really, really big change for no reason. And number 3, The important thing is not only from a place of like you're enjoying your food, but also mentally you feel like you are in control of your food. You're not self-sabotaging, you're not emotionally eating, you're not binging or starving. And that is the mental health aspect of food and the bad relationships that we have formed over years is the most detrimental thing to our success, the most. So the issue that I have with Weight Watchers is because of the way their business is structured, for people who are going in and they're new to nutrition and losing weight, it can be very, very tough for them to feel like they're able to do this on their own because they kind of keep you hooked into it. It's almost like you're like dependent on the system. And if you want to get off of it, it's really, really hard because you don't know what these points mean. You would have to, at that point, if you're like, all right, I'm going to get off this, but how am I going to be able to keep these points up? You're probably going to start doing points on your own and trying to mimic what you did. But let's say you eat something new that you never ate before and you don't know the points of it because they're not like in your memory because you haven't memorized it. What are you going to do then? It's a little tougher at that point. You have to, if you want to, at that point, when you decide to get off of Weight Watchers, if you want to go through all of that calculation and just like start learning about macros, you can. A lot of people don't want to take the effort to learn it on their own. And that's why hiring someone like a coach who's going to help you with both the fitness side and the mental health and the nutrition and all of that together to teach you how to do it on your own, like I do, is extremely important because you don't want to feel like you're dependent on some computer system. What if Weight Watchers just disappears one day? How are you going to manage, right? If everything that you are doing every day is tied to a number, tied to a point. It's just, to me, that's the part that kind of throws me a little bit. On the good side of it though, I do appreciate that these days Weight Watchers has like fitness. They didn't have that back when I did it, which I thought was pretty cool. And then they also have like some wellness and like mental health and like meditation on the app, like quick 5-minute meditations. I was like, okay, I can get down with that. I appreciate that. Now, Weight Watchers itself is not an expensive product. It's something that's reasonable for most people. When you talk about having a coach, yes, I understand that you are looking at like hundreds of dollars difference in what you're spending. And a lot of people who do Weight Watchers do it for the affordability and the convenience. And it's very simple to use. I get that. And if that's something you need, that's fine. But if you are someone who struggles with emotional eating, if you're someone who is completely clueless about nutrition and jumps from diet to diet to diet, you should try to do something different this time, right? Stop jumping from diet to diet because to tell you the complete truth, diets work in the same way. Every single diet, if you say that you've tried it and it works, when someone tells me that they've done keto, it works. Weight Watchers, it works. Atkins, it works. Zone, it works. The reason why is because of a calorie deficit. It has nothing to do with the stuff that you're like calculating or removing from your food. It all has to do with how much you're eating. And when you focus on it, when your attention goes to tracking your food and removing food, it's all because you're focused on that specific task for a long period of time and you're able to have more success with it. Same with budgeting. If you stop looking at your credit cards and your bank statements and you're just like, let's say you take 6 months and just kind of do whatever, chances are you may overspend, right? But if you are looking at your bank statements every single day, logging in, looking at how much you spent in every category, making sure you have limits on your day on how much you're able to spend in every single category, you will stay on track. That's just how life works in everything. Business too. If you focus on your business or your work and you focus on a specific project, you'll have a lot more success on it on a productivity standpoint than if you just were to just freestyle and just do whatever. And that's why every single diet works in some capacity. It's not gonna work if you eat more than you